From the Nifty Studios and High Anxiety Productions comes another thrilling episode of Tales from the Trenches, dramatizations of cases ripped from the advance sheets. Today's episode, The Therapy Session. Today we join our favorite couple, Brad Barrister and his wife, Angelina Advocate, as they get ready for work. After meeting and falling in love in law school, Brad was hired by the DA's office, while Angelina followed her heart to the public defender's office. But there is tension in their usually loving household. You see, their love has been tested by a case that their offices share. Rather than let things fester, Angelina and Brad have decided to work it out with the help of a professional. We join the couple now at their breakfast table.
Oh, Brad, darling, do remember our appointment with world-famous marriage counselor Dr. Melfi after work today?
Mm-hmm.
Brad, darling, haven't I suffered the silent treatment long enough? We need to put this behind us, fix what's wrong and move on.
You want me simply to forget what happened and put it behind us? You wounded me, my love. You ambushed me. You betrayed our bond. The deep and special unspoken way we relate has been dashed against the rocks like a floundering jellyfish.
That's just it, Brad. We must communicate. We must, for the good of our marriage. And yes, our cases.
What? You dare question my dedication to you? To my work?
Oh, Brad, don't be so dramatic.
After work, the lovebirds meet at Dr. Melfi's office. As they settle into the rich Corinthian leather chairs, the doctor begins the session.
So, Brad, Angelina, what brings you here today? Brad, why don't you begin?
Oh, it's really quite simple, Dr. Melfi. I arraigned the defendant on the indictment on January 5th, and later that same day, off the record, I filed a statement of readiness, a certificate of compliance with an automatic discovery form, and a CPL 71030 notice. The next time the case was in court was on March 15th, and it was a big calendar, and the case was being handled by a colleague of mine. When the case was called, the judge did an actual readiness inquiry pursuant to CPL 3030.5.
Okay, that all sounds pretty standard.
Why, yes, it was, until that point. And it should have been. Except you know who was also in court that day, representing the defendant.
Oh, Brad, darling, don't be cross. I was just there doing my job, sweetheart.
Just doing your job, my love?
I sense there is more to this court appearance. Angelina, as you were there, why don't you tell me what happened?
Very well, Doctor. During the judge's inquiry of actual readiness, he asked the ADA whether certain items had been turned over to the defense. The ADA did not know. Well, I was looking at our defense file and didn't see any medical records, so I merely advised the court they too were missing.
But I had already turned them over, my sweet.
Oh, Brad, I didn't know. What was I to do? They weren't in the file. And the judge, he was looking at me for a response. And the defense is entitled to be heard on the record pursuant to CPL 3030 Subdivision 5.
Oh, you dare cite the law to me? Besides, you could have made a call to check with your office and seen you had the records.
Oh, it's my fault? Your colleague never asked for a second call or time to check with you or your office either. Am I to do your job as well, darling?
Okay. Now let's all just calm down a moment. Let's just have a sip of Dr. Pepper and continue. What happened next?
What happened next? Oh, by golly, I'll tell you. The judge found the people's statement of readiness was illusory. And all that time from January to March is now charged to the people. But I did everything right.
Oh, my precious, I am so very sorry for you. Personally, but I'm very pleased about the outcome of this case.
Oh, you are a vixen. It's unfair. There should be no discovery sanction under CPL 245.80 because everything had been turned over.
Who is quoting the law now?
Now, you two. Let's see what we have learned. Firstly, Brad, this isn't a discovery sanction under 245.80. Oh no, it's a readiness determination governed by CPL 3030 Subdivision 5. And as such, it only matters that your office failed in demonstrating readiness during the 3030 Subdivision 5 proceeding.
You sound like the judge.
He is my husband. Setting that aside, what have we learned?
Oh gosh, I guess I need to communicate better. Not only with my colleagues, but also with my swell wife.
Oh, Brad, there's the dreamboat I married. Let's go home now and communicate further.
Capital idea, my love. I'll pull round the roadster.
But wait, you still have another 40 minutes left in the session.
Oh, keep the change, Doc. You're some kind of shrink. And so Brad and Angelina rush home to, communicate, knowing that in the future their files will be in order and they will leave notes for their colleagues who cover them. And Brad has also learned that when the court makes a 3030 Subdivision 5 readiness inquiry, the people cannot stand mute. They must respond, lest the declaration of readiness be found to be illusory. This has been another thrilling episode of Tales from the Trenches. Today's episode was inspired by the case of People versus Jian Lin, decided on August 8th, 2022, in the Supreme Court of New York County. This case and other discovery materials can be found in NIPT's Prosecutor's Encyclopedia. This episode was written, produced, directed, and performed by your friends here at NIPT. So be sure to join us for the next thrilling episode of Tales from the Trenches, when we hear Dr. Melfi say,
Welcome home, Your Honor.
So long for now.